All right, welcome back to another episode of Music and Madness with Tom and John here from the Villages, Florida. John, as you know, we had the Beatlemaniacs in here, and they were so great.
Unbelievable.
We brought them back in, 3 more songs. We wanted to make sure that we were able to talk to all the band members. So we are just the band members that are here today, because as we talked about before, they're huge.
28.
They're like fucking rabbits.
Yeah. They're turning them down. That's
they're breeding a new Beatlemaniac every Tuesday.
That's exactly what it is, too.
Yeah.
So we're back, and Cody, you're back with us, which is
I'm
phenomenal.
back, and then I've got Gary Davis, who's one of the long-standing members of the club, and we've got our drummer, Tommy Frazier.
Tommy.
And behind me, I've got Sam Surgeon, the bass player. He's just been all around the world. He's great.
Trouble. We hear Sam's a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of trouble.
Yeah,
I thought it was Tommy, but he's a
Tommy
problem
might
child.
be trouble, too. If you get him out on the town one night.
Sam is there.
So anyway, we're back in, and we learned so much about these guys when they were here the first time. The Beatlemaniacs, we thought it was only 4 band members.
Yeah.
It's a group of guys in the Villages and gals.
Yes.
They get together and play Beatle music weekly.
Every week.
Every week
Friday.
in a rec hall.
Yep.
And
Rec Center.
Rec Center.
Odell's Rec Center.
And so give us kind of an update. Everything is still status quo. You're still bringing that many people, and Tuesday or Fridays are the day. And
yeah, we we typically have between 140 and 160 people every Friday.
Okay.
And that's because physically they can't get any more people in the room. And they usually have, or they have during high season, when during the winter months, they actually have to have monitors in the parking lot because people were parking along the streets and coming in. It was going crazy.
That's unbelievable. Just like the real Beatles,
it was going crazy.
Yeah.
And so we get together every Friday, a whole bunch of musicians and a whole bunch of people that like listening to Beatle music, and we play the music without any kind of rehearsals. We know we have kind of an idea of what we want to do.
Jam session, yeah.
And then we go from there.
so 140 to 160, that's how many people come to watch?
Yeah.
So you've got
Every
collectively 200 people in the building.
We can get as many as 200. The fire marshal came in and kind of gave us the big kibosh. So we're down to about 160 total between both of us.
Okay.
But
he won't be back for long.
We'll talk to him.
Yeah. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And it's the music. You've got guys that are so dedicated and so good. Like Gary's been playing forever. I mean,
How long with the Beatlemaniacs have you been?
I go pre-Beatlemaniacs, actually.
Really? Just a bunch of guys that want to get together and play the Beatles? Or?
I run the Advanced Acoustic workshop.
Okay.
And the founding member came to me at that workshop one time and says, "What do you think about a club for the Beatles?" I says, "Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's try it." So, yeah.
How many years ago was that?
Well, that was at least 12, right?
least 12.
That's the count now.
Yeah.
It's 12 or 13. Yeah.
So you're a founding member.
Yeah. Yep.
What about Tommy and Sam? How long?
I've only been living in the Villages a couple of years now.
Okay.
So that's part of why I came down here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's a masshole, obviously, Massachusetts boy.
Yeah, he's definitely.
And his brother was actually the founder of
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
And then his brother, had some things change out, and so I came in about a year ago. But Tommy's like probably he's another Karen. He's probably one of the best Beatle drummers ever.
Yeah.
And he's a great freaking drummer.
I think
on top of it. So.
I think we need to clarify though. He's talking about Karen, the band member.
Yeah, Karen,
just
the band
another
member.
Karen. We don't want to have people be trashing
Karen,
your
the
house
band
when
member
you
in
go.
the last segment.
Yeah. And what about you, Sam?
Okay, so I've been in the Villages for 10 years, all right? Before we moved on here, I was on about 2 or 3 different lifestyle things.
Yep.
And while we were here, I was looking through the club paper list, and I saw there's a Beatlemaniacs thing, right? And I'm like, well, you know what? I got to check into that because I like Beatle music, right? And I played up in Pittsburgh for, 45 years in a plethora of really majorly mediocre to terrible garage bands, okay?
At least you're honest.
Yes, And so we came down here. A couple times during the lifestyle adventure, I would pop in and sit in the back row, and I just fell in love with the whole concept. And we moved on here. I sat in the back row for literally a year, and I met one of the bass players, and he talked me into bringing my bass in and jamming along, and that was 9 years ago. So now we have about 743 bass players in there.
They rotate through literally. And
Yeah,
Sam takes care of rotating them through.
Yeah, we usually have 4 at each meeting, and then we just take turns.
Playing.
Okay. Yeah.
When we go countrywide viral, don't send it to those guys in Pittsburgh that you were buddies. You're talking shit about them right now, saying you were mediocre.
They never liked me anyway.
I find that hard to believe.
So were you a professional musician your whole life, or
No, actually, I mean, I go back to like 1959 when I got my guitar, so it's been a long time. And at one point, I realized that you got to get a day job. But I've been teaching guitar since I was 18 years old. So I've always been involved in music.
Wow.
Played in bands. Everything from regular gigs, and then I found the Villages after we retired.
We actually have a band member that was his student.
Right.
No way.
Right? Isn't
That's
that true?
now moved
You know
on.
this,
I
Really?
was 18 years old, and he was 15 years old, and I was teaching in a music studio, and he was one of my students.
is he still play?
He plays with us
still
on the
does.
audience.
He plays with us.
How
yeah.
crazy is that?
Was that like
He
a...
married my sister-in-law, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
No kidding.
So you can still give him shit. Hey, you need to practice.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, any of you guys professional musicians, or just it was sideline part of your life?
Just recreational at this point.
Yeah, but not.
But I get paid.
Yeah, it's more than recreational at this point in your life, though, because everybody seems to be playing a lot,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you got the time
Yeah.
for sure, and that's
And Tommy, you've played in Beatles bands for years and years. Your brothers had them and stuff, didn't you?
We did a few back home, not a lot. I've dabbled with it with a couple of different bands, and I just like doing it. So I'll play anything.
Sure. Can you play anything other than drums, or just drums?
Just drums.
Yep.
yeah. How many drummers do you have show up? That would be interesting.
One a week.
One a
We
week.
have-
Okay.
We
Yeah.
got, so one of the issues is if you come to the meeting, they're pretty fun. I mean, they are pretty fun. And so if you come and you're a musician, you want to play,
Yeah.
And so I get a lot of people saying, hey, how can I play? How can I come in and play? How can I play? And before we had about 12 to 13 people up there, and it wasn't terrible, but now we got 28 or 29 people. And so we actually have 3 different drummers. And I rotate them in once a week, and they just kind of rotate in. And I'd say, what's your schedule? Here you go. Here's where you're playing in, and say, here's what we're doing.
We got to get you out to like Ocala, where there's a big stage. Put all 28 of them. You could fill that thing.
It'd be fun. It'd totally be fun.
The Red Sox club down here has to leave the Villages because it's so big.
Really?
So they do. They have their monthly meetings in Ocala because there's, I think, 4,000 members,
Oh, my God.
And they have someone come from the Red Sox come down and talk and stuff. But, yeah, they have to leave the Villages. So we might have to do that with the Beatlemaniacs. Move them down to Ocala, sell some tickets. You could kill it.
So we're trying to get a bigger room. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what we want to do from here. I wanted to first see, how the club would progress if we had a new format and some of the things. And these guys are just like amazing. They just keep showing up and playing great music. And so the thing to do is, it's a volunteer club, clearly. So if I can't energize it and make it fun for these guys to play, they have enough stuff to do.
Exactly.
In the Villages, you've got a bazillion things. So unless it can be fresh and fun each week, and they just I think it's 13 years. I remember playing. I played 4 years, and I'm having trouble with it. And he's played longer than me.
Yeah.
I would imagine if you can't make everybody happy, though, and have enough space, you're going to have people wanting to break off.
And I'm not sure that wouldn't be a bad thing, but you still there's an energy with what we have right now, and I'm not sure breaking off would give you that same energy.
Sure.
Right.
But if that's something we want to do, I actually would like to see if I could get us in a bigger venue, and so that we could accommodate more people.
As a club member, can you actually reserve one of the big rooms
Like
on a monthly
Eisenhower?
basis?
Like, have you seen Eisenhower?
Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
But the way it works, if you're a lifestyle club, is you get 4 of those a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And or you petition to have it all the time. And they take those petitions once a year because you have so many clubs that need to have space. And typically the theater rooms are rooms that fill up pretty quickly because they're only in the regional centers.
Yeah.
And also for us, we'd have to do it sometime like on a Tuesday or Wednesday night because these guys all play out on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays anyway. Or a lot of times they do. From Thursday through Sunday, they're usually playing with real bands and getting paid.
Yep.
Who knew?
Yeah.
So
Maybe
All in the villages? You play all in the villages? Or do you play outside the villages also?
Mostly in the villages,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
But some of us play outside. Gary Senator, who was here before, plays a lot outside the villages, too. Yeah.
Maybe you guys need to play in the old theater.
that would be
in
a cool
summer.
idea, too.
You could fill it if you have that. If you have
Or
that
the
much stuff,
theater, they got the theater at Brownwood, too, and they're not
Yeah.
using it at all.
Well,
Yeah.
it's where it is. They are going to start using it. They've ripped everything out of there.
Or they did.
Oh, they got all dumpsters behind there. Sure, yeah. So
I didn't know
that would be nice.
That'd be cool.
If
Johnny
they're
and
talking
I were
about
hawking
stage.
shit out of the dumpster.
I was. I was in there getting.
We can use this. We can use this.
Yeah, I got some dumpster
Oh, I
burn
got a
on
new
the old
chair.
elbow.
That would be. I think that would be a great music venue. The old theater right here in Brownwood.
I think it'd be totally cool.
They would.
And
they
I
would
gotta
fill
believe,
it all the time.
with this as busy as the Sharon is,
Yeah.
and now with the Tracy,
Right.
Yep.
that you're going to have a mid-size tier someplace
Right.
that you could accommodate additional acts.
Sure.
And I mean, if you've got, Gary plays with Connection, and you've got Jazz Lovers clubs, 2 different Jazz Lovers clubs
yeah.
that you're with. So there's got to be venues there available, or material there available to fill the venue. I
Yeah.
would think.
Well, the villages, like I said, it's huge now. By what is it, 157,000 people?
Yeah, in the
something like
winter.
that. And so,
It's about 80, I think, or 80 or 90. 80, I think.
yeah, and there's
in the summers.
and there's more people staying now in the summer. There's more people who realize that sucking up a few months of the summer heat is not that bad.
No.
And so it is growing. So they definitely need to have more opportunities. Well, the good thing is though that we have this available. This is why we're here. We wouldn't even be having this conversation if we were in some other retirement area. So
No, and the music opportunities here are, to your point, you can play music in the villages with a jam club or a guitar circle or a group every
7 days a
single
week.
day of
Yeah.
the week.
and even as an amateur,
As an amateur.
yes, right,
The Folk Lovers Club, the Hampton Singers, the group that you were with, Sparky Strummers, Ultimate Jam, Music Makers. I mean, there are literally 20 or 30 different places that you could play during the week.
yeah.
So
It's
if you want to learn to play or just enjoy playing, you could find the genre you like, the type of players you like to play, and hang. I mean, just tons of stuff.
Yeah, we came our first day on Lifestyle, and we looked through the recreation news, and like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
I could play here that day, there that day, there that day, there, and
Yeah.
I wasn't even planning on playing out at all. So it was
It's
like
amazing.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
It is.
Are the villages themselves very? They're obviously accommodating for the rooms and that stuff, but do they make it easy for musicians and stuff? Because everybody's carting in a lot of equipment and stuff. Or they?
I don't know. For me,
I come in
they've
with
been
my cart. That's it.
Yeah, and for me, they've always been pretty accommodating.
That's great.
You know,
Yeah.
and you can usually do a 24-hour reservation. Sometimes it's hard to get your people all together in 24 hours, but whatever. But yeah, they've been really pretty good about it. Frankly, you got 150,000 people now. And I don't know that they have enough facilities for all of the 2,000 plus clubs here in the villages.
Yeah.
And it's just a physical space limitation on, how you can access that and how you coordinate all that.
Well, I said, it's still a great thing, and everything always could stand a couple of improvements, but it's growing pains.
Oh, I mean,
It's growing pains.
the
is really what
the
it is.
best
Yeah.
worst problem to have is
Yeah,
that you
it-
have too many clubs looking to too many interests trying to find space.
Yeah, not real world problems.
Yeah,
but you're
yeah,
right.
yeah. Absolutely, the best problem you could have.
That's right.
You know.
So,
Yep.
well, again, you guys are phenomenal. We want to stay in touch. We want to see what's
Well,
going
thank
on.
you.
We want to bring some of these other bands in here. We want to learn more about the other genres of music that you guys play.
Yeah.
And we want to take and promote you guys. And
Well,
John,
you've got
you
a lot of material sitting right here in the room.
I know.
So, yeah, you got lots
any,
of room there.
Any of your other bands off the side want to come and play, get in touch with us. We'd love to have you guys in here.
So-
Yeah, that'd be
Excellent.
cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Anytime.
Again, Cody, I absolutely appreciate all your
No,
time and
thank you very
coordinating
much.
this with us. Scheduling, is, as you know, is always tough. People on vacations and that, and we made it work.
Yeah,
and
it's totally cool.
So,
And it was fun. It was great,
It's-
wasn't it?
it's-
Yeah,
it was
it was
cool.
great.
We
It was
loved it.
Totally great.
Absolutely.
Nice facility here.
Always great. It's beautiful.
We get a free concert every time we
I
bring
know, this is
somebody in.
great.
That's,
I love
that's the
it.
best part. That's,
We had a
that's
couple of friends come in today. I should have sold them tickets.
Exactly. That's the real reason the podcast.
Yeah, that's-
John and I are a couple of cheap asses that don't want to pay for concert tickets
That's
and
right.
bar drinks.
That's right.
So here we are. Again, guys, appreciate it, and
you so much.
we'll all stay in touch.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
That's
All
a
right.
wrap.
You.